Hello everyone, it's Linda from Linda's Ease in Arlington Heights, Illinois. I want to thank you again for all the likes from last time when we did our video on this cute little jacket with the little gnomes. It really does help us when you do the likes, and then when you do the subscribe, that also is a huge thing for us. So because of all of your comments and your likes, I'm going to continue on to show you something else that I think is really going to be fun. And you can kind of tell from what I'm showing you here on the screen that we are going to do applique with a scan and cut that is so easy to cut out and then applique onto a garment. You know, last time I showed you this cute little gnome. See how cute he is with his little wings out here and this little let's be friendly. Taking it with a, using this and cutting it out with a scissor. Now, these are very simple, cuts, so it's pretty easy to cut it out. But when you start to get into little intricate, is that the word? Little tiny curves and circles and everything, you really want to have something that will cut them out very fast. And I'm going to be using this design right here. And Nick, can you get that up close? Or do you want me to put it over here? I can bring it over here so you can see it. And isn't this a sweet little beehive with a heart on it? And when you see all of the curves and the circles on this beehive, well, when you start getting into something that intricate, you will really want to have a cutter that can cut this out for you very quickly. And I'm not just using it for the jacket, I'm going to use it for I have a couple of towels, hand towels that I'm going to be giving away. There's a lot of possibilities. I could take that honeybee and put it on a cup. I could take it and put it on a placemat. I could put it on a hot pad for somebody. Your imagination is just, it'll go wild when you start doing this because it's so easy to cut these pieces out. So I want to show you quickly how to do that. And if you stay to the very end, what do I always try to give you if I don't forget, right? And that's the free door prizes. I have to tell you a quick little story about what happened last week. We had about 8 or 10 door prizes, and we thought they all went fairly quickly the first couple of days. And then again, somebody forgot to pick it up. And a lady called up, I think it was like on the 7th day, and said, I know that you have to pick them up within a week or have them shipped out, but I'm in Maryland, and I really want that book so badly, and I'm sure it's already gone, but I thought, what do I have to lose by calling? What do you think was still left? The book. So we shipped it out to her and she got her free product, and I think it was like a $12 or $13 book. So this time, I'm going to wait till the very end to show you, but there is a $100 gift that we're going to give. There's a $65 gift, and there's some other really fun things. So all you have to do this time, instead of calling the store, you're going to just email. And Nick, you're going to have a little form. It'll be on our website to fill out a form, real simple. So then all of you have a chance, because I know many of you are working and don't get a chance to see this video until later, or maybe 2 or 3 days later. So you have 1 week at the, we'll draw it in the next video. I love that. And then everybody gets a chance. And that way we'll see who wins, and we'll actually know the names of people that get these things. So we're just trying to thank you for, guys, I really mean this. You are amazing. And I know I'm talking to a camera right now, but I'm really not. I have talked to so many of you this last week, a couple by phone, and I never met you, but I have talked to you by phone. And it's just a heartwarming thing to be able to know that there's people out there that really appreciate what we're doing. So I'm going to keep doing it. Now, if I hear that you don't like it, of course we won't, but I think you will like what we're doing. It's going to be quick. It's easy. This is the Spree Club, the OESD. I don't know if I'm getting too much shine on it, but it's really a wonderful program. You can buy it. It's a special, I don't know how much it is. You can look on our website. I know it just went down in price. But what's really great is if you don't want to buy the whole thing, you can buy just this little USB stick, and it has all the designs that I was showing you. But one of the things that OESD does, and quite frankly, a lot of the other companies are doing it too, they're putting on this stick something called an SVG file, and that's a cut file. So that means I can take, now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this little USB stick, and I'm going to go right over to this machine, and I'm going to plug it in. And that's all I have to do. Now I'm going to find it, and if we can go up to the camera here, I'm going to retrieve it. I look at the little USB stick. Now, how simple can you get there? I'm going to pull my tools out so you can see what I'm doing. Actually, I have a little, I like to use my finger, but there is a little stylus that I can use if I want to pull it out. And then I look for the style of the design that I want to use, which is the little gnomes, the honeybee gnomes. And look what's here, SVG cut files. So all I have to do is touch it. Now, how do I know which one it is? If you look again at this, do you see this number here? 80329-04, it's the honeybee, because I want to cut this little beehive out. So I know it's the 04. If I look down here, it's this one, and watch what's going to happen. There the little beehive comes right up. Now I'm going to go, and because this is the scan and cut, see this little F on here? That's the 225F, like in fabric. There are many of these that are on the market, but this is really the one that is really, Nicholas, can we sell this on our website? I don't even know if we can, but I'm not sure, but you can always call us and we can get it for you. There is a Disney one too that will have Disney designs. It's more expensive, but this just is wonderful because if you look over here, this is an automatic blade. And there's no numbers or anything, all of you just pop it in, close it, and you're done and ready to go. So it automatically cuts the fabric for you. So now I'm going to say okay on this. Everything. Well, I also have some pre-loved. If you are, these machines are just wonderful, but we do have some unbelievable bargain pre-loves that are just great for cutting. And Debbie, who was in our Sew Club this week, I know you just bought the 550. I know a couple of others that have been asking for those. We have a couple left. Some of them are like $149. So are there? Yeah. So it's not going to be many. I would very definitely, give the store a call. But I want you to see why you would use it. What's good about this? See the little red line around this this little beehive? I can go ahead and run a test before I do this. I don't need to do that one, but I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to do the cut file. You see how very simple what I'm doing. Now see this test here? I can touch my little screen, my little wrench, and see if everything looks okay, and it does, because everything's automatic. I'm going to say okay, and then I can run that little test if I want to. When I run it, I'm going to show you one. I cut this out already for you to see, but you see that little triangle there? That's what, if I did the test, I touch that, see that little triangle? You can put it anywhere. You can move it over here, and you can test this to make sure that the fabric is cutting properly. I do that maybe once or twice, and then I never have to do it again because I know it's going to work properly. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I don't need to. I'm going to delete all this right now because I've already cut it out for you, but I do want to show you what I have done on here. There are two mats that are available, and let's see where I put the one. This is the one that is the standard mat, and you could use this, but there's also a fabric mat, and the fabric mat is when you are doing just little, here, I have it down here, Nick. This is when you are using just the little one piece of fabric. Now look at this. I know you can see it up here real well. See how I cut that out? It's one little piece of slim, flimsy little fabric, and there's the little triangle that I cut out. And look at how nicely that did. Now this does not have any stabilizer on it, so again, that is not what I want to do. Because and that's what if you're using only one piece of fabric, then you would want to use this fabric mat. But we're not doing that this time. We are taking our fabric, and I have a little piece back here to show you. all we're doing is taking the fabric, we're taking the Applique Fuse, which is what this is. You can see it. It looks very simple. In fact, if I bring it over here, it's got a little shiny side to one and a paper side to the other. The shiny side is going to fuse down to the paper, to the fabric, like I did here. And I'm going to put it on my ironing board. I'm going to take my Laura Star. I'm going to press it. But those of you that don't have a Laura Star, get a press cloth, because that will really keep your fabric, you know, in good shape. Then you can turn it over, press it again, and wait until this fabric is cool. You don't want to take it right from here and put it on your mat. Then what I do, because this is, there's now 2 layers. There's a fused fabric on the fusible stabilizer on the back, and there's fabric on the top. So I put the fusible fabric, the paper side down on my mat, and maybe I'll bring it over here so you can kind of see it. You see how I put my paper side down on my mat. My fabric is up. I want to take my, and retrieve, I've got my US, let's do this again. Let's retrieve the design so you know what we're going to do. We're going to go down here to the little gnomes. Again, we're going to do the cut file. Remember, I know it's this one because I printed this out, and this is really a wonderful sheet. OESD on all of their designs has what they call design file sheets, and you can print them out so you know exactly what colors to use. Now I can go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to feed my mat first into my machine, and see that little arrow? I'm using the standard mat for this because I have the automatic fabric cutter in here. That's the tan one. The black one is the regular fabric, the regular cutter. This is the tan one that does all the fabric with the fusible on the back. Now, I know this is going to work okay. Now we're going to scan this. Nick had asked me, I don't know if you could have heard him a few seconds ago, but he wanted us to show how the scan actually works so that you can see the yellow fabric on there. So let me go ahead and do this, because I knew where I wanted to place this, and I have this nice little table that pulls out in the back, so it's very easy to watch it and see it. And you can see now it's scanning over, and there you are. Voila, you've got your little beehive that's right there, and I know that I've got it placed right. It's not going to hit on this little tangle. I'm going to say okay. I'm not going to do the test because you can see I've already done the test on my garments, on my fabric already. So I'm just going to go ahead and start right now because I know it's in a perfect situation. And this little cutter is so amazing. It's automatic, so it knows how far to go through the fabric. And it knows that it's got a little stabilizer underneath here. And look at how quiet it is. And see, it tells you that there's 1 minute left. It wasn't even that. I'm all done. So I'm just gonna release my mat. I have my beehive all cut here. And now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna turn this around. Let me show you this. Isn't this cute? They turn out great. I love it. I just love, what I love is a little honey dripping down the part of the little beehive. And you see, when we were doing last week, if you remember, I was doing this on a 10 needle, and I used this Perfect Stick. Now this doesn't look real great, but I wanted to show it to you because it is a stabilizer. It's the Perfect Stick. But I used the great big hoop, and I was able to get 2 hoopings out of this hoop. I did this on one side and this one on the other side. So what this design is doing now, it's going to make a stitching outline around this beehive. I'll put it up here with the white so you can see it. And let's see, it went this way. Believe it or not, there is a difference between the two. And look at how perfect. Can you see that? That was the perfect placement. So it stitched a placement line for me so I knew where to put the fabric on. Then I zigzagged over the rest of the fabric and I was ready to go. I hope this gives you just a couple of little ideas of how easy this is with a scan and cut. Now, what I do when I do these little honey things like this, I take a whole big piece of fabric. This isn't yellow, but I wanted to show you. This is a to show you under the camera. This is the regular fabric, and you can see it's blue, so I don't know if it'll show up real well. But what I wanted to show you is the back. You see that sticky part? That's when the fabric has come off. We pulled the whole paper off, and this is actually fusible. So everything on the back of this is fusible. If this is the normal applique fuse with the paper on one side, the shiny on the other, when we fuse this onto the back of the fabric, there is a paper side, and then I'm going to pull that off and look at what happens. Do you see that fusible? How nice and shiny that is? And now I take that to the ironing board and I press it down onto the fabric, and it will stick exactly to where I want it to be. It is so, adhering that I probably wouldn't even have to put a stitch around it, but I like this stitch like we've done here. I think it just makes it look more professional. I think we're done. One quick thing that I hope you're going to look at, and this is the new Scan and Cut book. I don't know if any of you, during COVID, so many people have not seen the new things that have come out. It's called the Playbook. It's got so many different ideas, and I actually have mine out here. It's got a USB stick in it for all these designs, and you can see, you can go in and make all these different designs. So, I mean, really, really easy. It's showing you, because what I do, I will take a big piece of yellow fabric, put the applique fuse on it, put it in my big hoop after I've cut out on my mat, and I'll make like maybe 10 or 15 of the little honeycomb beehives. And then I'll put them on different towels, and they're all cut out. They're all ready to go. So questions, be sure you ask. We'd love to hear from you. And again, don't forget the pre-loved machines, because we do have some. Who's going to be lucky this week? You want to see a couple of the things? Should I show them one thing? I'll show them the threads, because we have a whole basket of things we're going to give you. So we're not going to show you everything, but look at the Tula threads. These are not available anywhere. So these are just wonderful. Robeson Anton, this was about $75 worth of Christmas threads. We have a $100 design package with hearts, and oh my gosh, it's absolutely wonderful. This is from Pfaff. But again, it's a USB stick, and it has all of the different companies' designs. There's books. And one last thing, isn't this fun? We should really honor our teachers here. Dear teacher, I may forget what you said, but I'll never forget how you made me feel. And that's a towel that has been scanned and cut in that I think is just absolutely wonderful. Really, and during these times when teachers have had so many hard things to, this amazing time that they've done, I hope we're honoring them and letting them know we care about them. This is done on the Disney machine. It's just cut out with felt, and you can see there's a little zipper with a little pouch. So lots of applique ideas for a scan and cut. Those of you that don't have embroidery machines, you're just quilters, or you're doing other things, you can use these scan and cuts, and you don't have to have the embroidery machine. Thanks everyone for being here today. I hope you're lucky, and we'll see you next week. Thanks everyone.